Hello, welcome to 6 Yard Box. Welcome to 6 Yard Box. Hello to all my subscribers. If you're a noob, you're welcome. This is 6 Yard Box. If you're watching this for the first time, this is the press conference pre-Burnley game. This is the press conference pre-Burnley game. Tottenham taking on Burnley. Burnley away. Tottenham away to Burnley. Promises to be a very, very difficult game for Tottenham. And Antonio Conte have been doing his interview, so we're just gonna react to that interview, and yeah, we're just gonna see what he's saying. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. Follow, like, share, subscribe. We got the watch along coming up as well. Make sure you look out for that one. And let's get into. We got the tactical board as well. That one is we're gonna do a tactical board and see how the two teams are gonna play, approach the game to get a win. And so we're gonna do that as well. So let's get into this press conference from Antonio Conte. So he's just starting the press conference. Let's listen to what he's got to say. Then I'll react to you after.
About keep the Tanganga and they're not against Burnley. About Sergio yesterday, the train station, he wasn't present.
Yeah. The first question was about injuries and with any more injury news, and about Skip, Oliver Skip, basically. And they asked them, and Antonio basically just said it's the same situation. It looks body language, it looks relaxed, it looks happy. That's what happens after a win, a big win, especially against a team like City. So it makes a different atmosphere. The fans have been so different. Everybody looks uplift. Everybody looking very happy. It's a good environment when you win game. It's only one game, but it makes a big difference when that happens. And hopefully it will continue against Burnley on Tuesday.
I say this, it's not time. I say this. In Tottenham, no, and with these players, it means that I'm finding a lot of ability of these players to work, to improve, to have more football knowledge, and they are very open. They're very open, and honestly, it's not sure that in every team this type of situation. But that's all. You happen this instead. I found a group of players with great ability, with a great side work to do, and this are not to say that maybe this.
Yeah, man, they asked him. I think he said something just after the match against City and press conference that he said these are the group of players that he's worked with. Tottenham, they're one of the best he's ever worked. What makes him say that? And they asked him those good players become winners, and basically what he used to say. And he said that some players are open to improvement, just like human beings. Sometimes some people are open to advice or not to pay, and they think, I'm happy the way I am. I don't need to be better than than what I am now. And I think every sports and everything, especially sports, man, you can relate it to life and to lifestyle. You want to get better at what you're doing, and that's why I like listening to managers talking about their players, because what they talk about in terms of relationship, you can relate that relationship to your own life, to your own personal life with with your wife, with your kids, whereby you can look to tell them, instead of shouting or trying to force people. You can give people advice, and some people receive the advice, they'll be receptive to the advice, and they will make them a better person. So yeah, and that's what he was saying basically, that some players want to improve, some players don't, and he believes most of the Tottenham players that he's working with right now, they all want to improve. Every time he talks to them, they're like asking questions and finding out ways they need to improve. And he said that's the reason why he said this group are one of the best he's ever worked with.
Is a lot of the team. Many young players. But you see a good connection. Stuff by coaching. Yeah, because social media was nice. Stay 2 3 hours with people, not seriously. Follow apart and believe, no.
Yeah, exactly. You will have seen the game. Football still a long way behind some other sports. Their attitude.
Yeah, and
Yeah. The question they asked him about the football, about Leeds. I think I've had this. I can react to this one because I think I've had him. He talked about this earlier, and I think what he said the reporter was like, football, are they taking the aspect of concussion seriously in players? Like players the game has to be stopped as soon as possible. Players have to be taken off the pitch and substituted. And basically, he said they should take it seriously, and that in some cases, some players use that as a way of wasting time in games and pretending that they're injured, and the way they're using it to cheat. And basically, was saying that players and people should not use it for that reason. They should use it for what it's meant to be used for, which is fine, because when players go down, everybody's trying to stop the players, is trying to stop the referee. The referee's looking back, is thinking, is there an injury, head injury or not? I think maybe they should have like an head injury timeout or something, whereby they just stop the game immediately and look after the player, because the players are more important than, players' health is more important than the actual score on the board, to be honest. So he said he's been concussed about 2 or 3 times in his career. I think that's what he said. And he said, so he was saying basically, that football should look more into head injuries.
I follow this topic. Basically, injury reduction. But you know very well that in the past, also very well, rise question. For sure, when in this type of situation, take the protection. Stop the game, to go straight to the medical, understand the situation. In my opinion, the most important thing, we have to pay good attention, but at the same time, we have to go and to pay attention when not to give the possibility. Because otherwise, and sometimes I see this type of situation. We are talking about a serious, it's in your head to lose time, because I think look più che cifra.
People often say that it's great people
About this question that is a sporting director, Italy, name is Pantaleo Cotino, that he says you can make mistake about your wife, but not about the striker and the goalkeeper. You understand? Yeah, and for me, it's the best quote that I understood in the football. No, and you can make mistake about your wife, but not no mistakes about the striker. And then to build the team, to build the team. Yeah, we're talking about two good players, two important players for us. Also, the players with more good experience, good experience, and I continue to say that to have a team, it's important also to match, no? Experienced player with a young player. So when you have players with experience, a lot about you. So we are lucky because in our team we have these two players for sure top players.
Yeah, they asked him the next year. I was talking about. They asked him about Harry Kane and Hugo Lloris in terms of the experience in the team, and I could relate to that as well. And he said made a comment back to Italy where he said somebody, the sporting director in Italy, used to tell him that you can make a mistake with your wife, but not with the keeper and your striker. And that's the way I look at it as well, because I remember when I was when Harry Kane had that bad run earlier in the season, when he was not in the team, when he was looking into when all this transfer talk was going on. I was the one saying, and some of the I wouldn't say most of the fan base of Tottenham, I think it was about roughly about 50-50 or 60-40. People were saying Ashley Kane should be dropped, that his mind is not there. Even after all this summer window was closed, when we played us, I think when we played Arsenal or something, they were saying he should be dropped. And I was thinking, and I saw that game, and in that game, there's a bit there in that game that summed him up for me, Harry Kane. In the bit in that game whereby I think he lost the ball and then he ran all the way back into the penalty box, running past midfielders, running into the box to make a tackle. Although this Arsenal scored, but he was the one that ran all the way back to make that tackle. And I was thinking, at the end of that game, fans were still saying his mind is not in it. And I was thinking, what are these people looking at, man? Because sometimes you look at something, or you're looking at, there's certain things you look at in a game, and you look at a player, and a player that's, Harry Kane, that's like, what do you call it? It's giving everything to Tottenham, to this club. He's not won anything, but he's given every single thing. He's been consistent. And you see him going through one bad spell, and people are turning on him already, after just one. And I remember that happened to Poch as well. I remember when Poch got sacked then, I was saying to myself, I never wanted Poch to go. I don't care then. I think we were 12 on the table. I was thinking, fans were saying, oh, yeah, maybe the players need a different voice. Maybe he needs to go. Even I became player, people were saying, maybe we need to sell him and use the money to go and build a squad. And I was thinking, if Harry Kane is staying at Tottenham, I'll be happy. If he stays there permanently forever, I'll be happy, because it is going to be difficult to find a player to replace Harry Kane. And fans are quick to jump. They're quick to move away from players, or managers, after, as soon as that player goes through a little bit of a bad spell, fans will just jump and say, oh yeah, maybe we need this, maybe we need that. And, we fans, we need to be we need to understand the process and a little bit, at least you can criticize a player for a game and say he didn't play well in that game. but don't say, oh, he needs to be moved on, or he needs to, his mind is not in it. It's a bit too, what do you call it? It's flaky for me, man. It's a bit too. It's an easy cop out for fans sometimes, whereby they just go. And I remember Harry Kane saying that, and that's what the manager is saying. That Harry Kane, is so important to this team. I will never drop Harry Kane. If I was a manager, and I know this manager won't drop him, I won't drop Harry Kane. Even if Harry Kane goes 20 games, even if Harry Kane goes from now to the end of the season without scoring a single goal, I won't drop him. I will play him because it brings so much into this team. He links play up. It brings so much into this team. So, and that's what the manager is saying that, there's some players that you can't drop. You cannot drop them unless they are injured. So fans should look at it in that way as well. That's the way I've always looked at Harry Kane. Anyways, for me, he's the number one name on that team sheet.
My point of view, maybe most leaders is that because in the last period, they won against Brighton 3-0, and believe me, Brighton is a big team. They lost only 1-0 against Liverpool, but the game was imbalanced.
Meaningful question was about Burnley, which Tottenham are playing next, and they were asking him about what does he think about Burnley, because Burnley they won their last game against Brighton, and the manager just said that, yeah, his reaction was, he just said, the players are. Burnley have come in the worst team that Tottenham could play now, because it's a bad time to play them after a big win, comfortable win as well, and they were saying it's going to be tough. So their last game, when they lost against Liverpool, it's going to be physical. Burnley is like really, at least some fans were saying it's on top of a hill somewhere at the stadium. They're comfortable for you as well, man. It's going to be tough. We just have to, before we can play our football.
For sure, for us, it should be a never easy to play against. They have a good manager that is showing in these years that his managing is very, very good. And maybe we could deserve time more. But yeah, I can tell that he is appreciating the job and what he is compact. I'm sure that we can save the league also this season.
I hope Mrs. Conte'S watching too, by the way.
Yeah, it's good.
How do you get the consistency to your team? Before games like Manchester City rather than the past where Spurs have gone somewhere like Burnley. How are you going to get consistency to Saturday to the end of the season?
The consistency is fundamental. It will be very important for us, the game against City, because of this game. And we have worked very hard with the whole team, with the ball. You can see and you can watch our goals and the team is involved with the totally. At the same time, and we show the solidity because we defend very well with the whole team. Maybe I think that in the past we lost a bit of this priority, and sometimes we were too confident without the ball to defend all the 6, 7 players, 5 players, and I think that if we want to have a good result and at the end of the season to stay there and to see what happens. We work together with the ball and with every game. Always all is not to go, but to go, get another you organized in both phases. You have a best possibility to win the game to get 2 points.
What's like non-football?
Yeah, so and finally, the final question, key question in this presser is they asked him about Burnley. They asked him after the City game going to Burnley, how is he gonna make sure Tottenham keep the consistency and basically, and he said like I think with Tottenham there's a how am I gonna put it? Has any manager coming to Tottenham is a difficult one because you're looking at the players and you're thinking, the players that I have now, how can I play to get the best out of this team and get the results? Because that's what it's all about. So if the players that we have are the players that we have at Tottenham now, I think the best way we can play, at least until maybe the end of the season, is for us to play counter-attacking football. Leicester did it and they won the league with it. So I know Tottenham fans they go mad because you're going to Burnley, you're playing defensive, you're letting them have the ball, you're sitting back playing on the break. But it's not about this. It's not about the reputation of a club. It's about results. It's about getting those results to get you where you want to be. Then when you get to where you want to be, you can build a team from there to play this possession, high press football like Liverpool, like City play. And I don't think we have those players. For one, we don't have a creative midfielder in that team to open teams up. We might find out that we have one. I don't know. But for me, I think the way we play against City is going forward. That's the way I think we should play. Maybe not too much. Maybe because that City one was a little bit too extreme because they had 75% possession. We had I think we had 20 or something like that. I don't know. But for me, I think going forward, I think maybe that's the way we should play. And I think every manager coming to Tottenham is a big cutting between a rock and a hard place because you want to play your free-flowing football, or you want to play with the players that you have in the team. And because we don't have a creative midfielder, we need Harry Kane to come into that space, that hole in behind the runners of Son or Kulusevski, and to create that link. So, and basically what he was saying was that in that City game, Tottenham defended very well from the front. Harry Kane was the link defensively and offensively as well when we got the ball. And he said Harry Kane was the link and he scored a couple of goals and I think he got an assist as well. So I think it's something we have to, I don't know. For me, I just want to win game. I don't care the way we play. We've played beautiful football on the porch and we were very good. Everybody was talking about Tottenham, but we didn't still win anything. So, it's a big decision for the manager going forward. Hopefully, he's going to sort that out anyway in the summer. So, yeah, and it was just saying basically that we just need consistency. You need to have that solidity. That's what he said, solidity for you to be able to have the consistency and go on and win games and go on runs, win games after game. And that's what he said. So, yeah, so that's the end of the presser. There's a lot more questions, but that's the key ones for me. His body language was a lot better. He's happier compared to the last press conference. So we're cracking jokes with the press, and that's what winning a game of football means to the manager, to the team entirely. Everybody will be buzzing going into this Burnley game, and I think they turn up and fight. It's going to be a war. Fight and do the basics, the defensively especially, and we have the quality to win. And so that's the end of the hot presser. This is the sit down, Antonio Conte. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Take care and God bless.